if you have a Volkswagen and if you're running dual carbs, any performance carburetor, and you have a dual port motor, right? So if you're running a stock motor, let's back up for a minute. A stock engine, stock carburetor, they take metal gaskets, right? On the dual port stuff. We're not talking single port, just dual port. Metal gaskets, they work fine, blah, blah, blah. If you have one of these, just plug your ears. You don't need to know this. If you're running like paper fiber gaskets, right? There's a couple tricks that you can know that are going to save you some time and give you pretty good results. So one of them is on the intake manifold side, not on the head side, on the manifold side, on the top side of the intake gasket, I use gasket cinch. And it comes in a bottle. It's got a little dauber on it, right? And it smells real good too. It smells like paint. You coat the gasket with that. You coat the intake manifold with that. You wait a couple of minutes until they get really sticky and tacky. You stick them together, and that gasket cinch cinches the gasket to the manifold. Keeps it from slipping around and stuff, okay? Now, on the other side of that, you guys have done this. Maybe some of you have done this before, where you had a paper gasket on there, you take the manifold off, part of the gasket stays there, it rips, it tears, it does whatever. You're in there with a razor blade, a screwdriver, rags, paper towels, trying to keep the stuff from falling into your intake on your head, right? And it's just a big mess. Well, here's the solution. Every one of you guys should have chapstick in your toolbox. And you just take the chapstick, put it on the bottom side of that gasket, and stick it down there on the manifold. Remember, the manifold's glued on already. When you stick the manifold down on there, you can come back later and that thing won't stick to your cylinder. It'll seal perfectly well. It'll just come right off. The gasket will stick to the manifold. If you need to change the gasket at that point, you can. I've done these, like taking manifolds on and off 5, 6, 7 times with the same gaskets, and it works fine. Doesn't rip, doesn't do anything. Anyway, that was a lot of whatever to tell you that chapstick. Get a thing of chapstick, throw it on the top of your toolbox. You gotta have the gasket cinch stuff in your box anyway, right? And those are things that could make things easier for you. All right, have a good weekend.